All right, what's up, my friends? Welcome to the Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We got a fun one for you today. We're playing some Modern, and we're playing some Storm Herald. This is the deck that Zach Allen, friend of mine, great Magic player, has been playing as his kind of fun deck for choice for a while, actually, and really iterating on it and working on it. And this is his most recent list. This is a Modern combo deck that can kill on turn 2 and play some ridiculous cards in it. Let's read Storm Herald here. 3 mana for a 3/2 haste. When it ETBs, return any number of aura cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, attached to creatures you control, exile those auras at the beginning of the next end step. They would leave the battlefield, they go away. So basically, it comes into play as a haster. And whatever auras are in your graveyard all pop onto it for one big attack, and then they go away. Well, there are some pretty big auras out there in the history of Magic. Biggest being Eldrazi Conscription. 8 mana aura +10/+10 Annihilator 2. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And of course, the card's coming back when it enters the battlefield, not when it attacks. So it will get the Annihilator trigger, unlike the old Sovereigns of Alara, Lost Alara combo with this card. So +10/+10 and Annihilator 2 is pretty insane. Also, Prodigious Growth, a little bit worse, just +7/+7 and trample, but still very, very good. And then Battle Mastery is here to just double up on one of the effects you already have. Battle Mastery with either one of these will be a lethal attack with over 20 damage trample coming across. So the goal here is to simply get these enchantments into the graveyard and then either cast Storm Herald or bring it back with Unearth or Persist. Unearth, of course, brings back a cheap creature, and Persist brings back a creature as well. Two cheapest ways to do it in the format. Now, I say that I can win on turn 2. Well, all you have to do is play a Supplier or an Otherworldly Gaze and put some enchantments into your graveyard. If you say you mill over Storm Herald, Conscription, and Battle Mastery. And then on turn 2, you can just fire up the Unearth and kill your opponent. So not a likely draw, but very much within the realm possibility. Would probably happen, decently often enough if you play this deck a good amount. Unmarked Grave here serves as another piece to get the cards we need into the graveyard. Again, we have the draw and discard here of Izzet Charm, Prismari Command, both giving you some removal spell as well as a way to draw and discard cards to the graveyard. And the one, the Dihada's Ploy, a weird obscure common from Modern Horizons 2. Another way to do draw and discard cards, and also a card to get with Unmarked Grave if your hand's really, really bad. You got to dump a lot of cards from your hand. So pretty simple strategy here. And game one's going to be pretty good for us, honestly. We're a graveyard deck. We're a pretty fast combo deck. We get to do things, as you want to do them for the most part. The fear, of course, is the sideboard. Opponent brings in cards like Rest in Peace and, Grafdigger's Cage, etc., against us. Well, sideboard looks to answer that. Of course, Brazen Borrower can bounce any hate permanent, which is great. Prismari Command, same thing, can kill a artifact hate. 4 Thoughtseize here, and can play a little bit more of a fair plan here of a sideboard here. The Thoughtseizes, a couple Sedgemoor Witches, if we need to just go wide, have a non-graveyard way to win the game, and Grief sort of filling that role as well. So, it can be a little more fair of a sideboard, but full-on combo in the main deck. Explosive, kind of crazy looking, play a lot of weird cards. I'm sure folks who threw this card into their bulk box, drafting Lorwyn 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whenever it was, didn't think this would be a card played in Modern, but that's kind of the beauty of Modern, right? You end up having a place for these really weird, strange cards. So that's the deck. I'm actually pumped to play this deck for like a month or two now. It's been in my back burner. It's been in my folder, just sitting there waiting to be played. So I'm pumped to play this deck and give it a spin. And Zach's no slouch, wouldn't play a deck that wasn't bad. And he said on their record saying it's not necessarily a deck he would bring to a major tournament, but definitely has game and is a very, very fun deck. So let's see how it goes. First, quick word from our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, round 1. We are on the draw, and our hand's a little chunky. I have to mulligan this hand. 2 lands and Izzet Charm, totally keepable, but only 1 land here, a little too risky. A little too much chunky, a little too chunks. We're going to mulligan. And our opponent mulliganed also. And now we're looking at a not great, but fine 6-card hand. We can keep this, ship one of these lands. Blood Crypt. Guess we ship a Just ship the Blood Crypt. Keep our options open as far as lands go. So, turn 1 Sigarda's Aid, no companion. So, we're seeing some Hammer Time lists that are not playing Lurrus, and instead focusing on some other stuff here. And we got Prismari Command, it's pretty good against them. Let's start up with a, we're going to want to cast Otherworldly Gaze, probably get a Watery Grave. Let's play a Delta and just say go. Cast this Otherworldly Gaze on the end step. Hopefully they don't turn 3 us here. Steel Shaper's Gift for Hammer. Can only assume. There's your hammer. And say go. And get Watery Grave. Pay 2 life. Cast Otherworldly Gaze. Look at our top 3 cards, and any number of these can go into the graveyard. Unfortunately, none of these cards are particularly awesome for us. I suppose, yeah, because we need to put a couple of cards in the graveyard. So, Unmarked Grave is okay as a piece to the puzzle, not the whole puzzle. And then the Persist is nice, but we're not really doing anything with it yet. And then Prismari Command is actually really good. Prismari Command obviously can break up what they're doing, can kind of play a Colligan Command role against them. So I can see like just keeping Prismari Command and playing a longer game. I think I like that. We're gonna bin that one. I think we're gonna keep Persist and Prismari Command. And we will just. It's a question if we're casting Unmarked Grave or not next turn. They can't activate Nexus. Oh yeah, they can. We're just dead next turn. I miscounted by 1. They just go activate Nexus and then hammer us. We can like lead mana up so they don't go for it, which is what we're gonna have to do probably. So we're just gonna keep these. Oh, oops! I opened the library. Yeah, I mean it's really mad at the orders. So put the Gaze there, untap, and second Prismari Command. We're gonna play Scalding Tarn here and just say go. And the only real option for us is to ruse that we have a piece of interaction to have them not kill us. And they're not gonna go for it. All right, so not too shabby. So we buy ourselves a little time, untap and just draw this Prismari Command, and now we just play land and say go. And they're gonna lean on Urza Saga, play a longer game, which makes a lot of sense, obviously. And that's going to give us time to fire up our Prismari commands and hopefully get this Persist Unmarked Grave going. We can end step Otherworldly Gaze, try and look for some more cards for our graveyard, set up for our Storm Herald. Not a lot of interaction usually with this deck, so second Sigarda's Aid and a land. Yeah, this is the new blue version of a Hammer Time. This deck went 6-0 or something and then won a challenge. All right, so we are going to end step. We're going to fetch, and then we're going to activate Otherworldly Grave. And we're going to get a Blood Crypt, or we have Mire, which can get a Swamp. They're going to like either kill us or not kill us, it feels like. So Herald. Yeah, let's just get the Watery Grave. And then let's cast Otherworldly Gaze in the graveyard. Oh boy, there we go. That's what we're looking for. All right, so I think we're just going for it because, yeah, I mean they could possibly have a graveyard hate card in their Urza Saga pile too, but it wasn't the bin. They were just going for it. Untap, draw, and we're just gonna push here. They have 3 cards in hand. One's a hammer. They're about to make a creature. They can kill us at any moment if they want to, and they don't know that necessarily. But let's search for a Storm Herald. Let's do the thing we're supposed to do here with Persist. So Persist, bring back Herald, trigger Herald, bring back Growth Conscription. Amusingly enough, they could actually like activate the Nexus and like put the hammer onto it to defend against this trample, but I don't think that's enough. Annihilator 2, F6. I got to sack 2 permanents here. And of course, it is 26 points of trample. So they're gonna do that. They're gonna fire up the Nexus. They're gonna sack a Sigarda's Aid and a land. And this is gonna actually make them live. But realistically, now they've just lost like 1,000 resources, and we have 2 Prismari commands available. So I think we're in pretty good shape here. All right, so you go to 3. Herald goes away. The enchantments go away also, but also we just burn them out the Prismari commands too. So they float a mana. I mean, if they get like Shadow Spear, that'd be a way to avoid getting burned out. But again, we also have Shatters here too. So part of the allure of a deck is what happened this game, where we were dead on board and they just couldn't go for it because, you know, we had all this mana up for disruption. So, and so they have double Ornithopter. They could, of course, have a Delta. All right, we're going to say go with Delta in our hand, I think. Need to watch out for a Inspeed Hammer or a Metalcraft Duder here. Looks like they don't got it. Up, here we go. What's coming? Anything good? Cast another Hammer. So we're going to Shatter Shock them and just kill them. So, yep. So that resolves. We're going to go Shatter, Shock them. 2 to you. And Shatter the Ornithopter. And untap and kill you. Cool. Cool game. Dead on board on their turn 3. They don't go for it, and we able to Storm Herald. Not completely kill them, but mostly kill them. Mostly kill them. Alright, so hammer time. Prismari Command all day, every day. As far as other interaction, now they don't really have a lot for us, I would think. I mean, I'm not actually super familiar with the new list, but they have more equipment for sure. Kind of like, I mean, like Borrower's like fine. Borrower like has a few benefits of being able to like just kind of hit whatever, be it, you know, like some hate piece or other stuff too. You know, rest in peace, whatever, as well as just like it can bounce a creature with a hammer on it, stuff like that too. Fatal Push is a little more narrow. I don't necessarily know if I want to go that deep. And then what are we going to shave here? Let's shave the Ploy. Let's shave maybe a Growth. And let's shave like some 1-0, I think. Maybe like just like shave that on Unmarked Grave. Unmarked Grave is a little awkward because like it can't do it by itself. It's just, you have to have other stuff too. So let's just shave these 3. Just shave a little bit here. We're not going to go crazy over sideboarding. Now you have 2 Borrowers to hit a lot of random stuff. And of course the 4th Prismari Command. We saw how good it was that game. And let's try this. Let's try this. Herald, Gaze, Charm. And again, also those schools, you can just freaking cast this card too, which is awesome. So we're going to keep this. All right, turn 1 8 again. Just annoying, but sure. Ornithopter. All right, so it's a pretty big potential there. Darkslick Shores. All right, let's play Shores and say go. They have a hammer here. We're probably going to die. Not really much we can do about it. Yeah, all right. Maybe we wanted Fatal Push on the draw. Like, this is also like, they have to draw. Yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculous. All right, whatever, sure. It's already a 2-card combo to just naturally have the Aid and the Hammer to do this on turn 2, and they should have both hammers too. So they just killed this on turn 2 on the play. Like, whatever, sure. You win. You got it. Fine. Welcome to 2022. Welcome to 2022. All right, game 3. Whatever. That is part of the annoying part of that deck is that while it's actually an extremely skill-intensive deck to play, it's very, very difficult to play. Occasionally that just happens. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. You know, like, sure. My hand wasn't perfect and you had a perfect hand, so you were on the play, so you won. But not going to bring in push on a draw now. You know, on the play, Izzet Charm beats that, Prismari Command beats that, Brazen Borrower beats that, our combo beats that. So, all right, so we're on the play. And our hand's not great. We have Unearth and Persist. We already have a Herald too. We have Mastery. We have no looting effects. We have no ways to get cards in the graveyard. We're just not mulligan this. This is part of playing a deck like this. Even though it's 3 lands, 4 spells, you just can't keep his hand. Okay. Much better. So we have a Supplier and Otherworldly Gaze. Gaze can find more lands. Izzet Charm as well. We're gonna discard get rid of the growth. Keep a Charm as interaction also. So we'll keep this Ship Growth. Not an ideal hand by any stretch, but hopefully Gaze can help us out and find us some of the lands we need. Izzet Charm, such a Supplier. Put a lot of cards in the bin here. The one downside to this hand is that if they have a piece of graveyard hate, we're probably screwed because we really can't afford to try and sit for that. So we're gonna gaze. We're gonna gaze over Supplier, so we're looking for a land, and Gaze can dig 4 cards deep for a land. So turn 1 Saga, okay. That usually means our hands are really good. Just casting a Hammer. And a Thopter. Alright. It's a little weird, just cast Hammer like that. We're going to get a Watery Grave. Shock it in and cast Otherworldly Gaze. We see a Supplier, Unearth, Watery Grave. So we do have the land for sure. Pretty awkward because you kind of want the Unearth too. But we can't keep both if we're going to play Supplier next turn. Tough hand. Tough hand. Gaze here, of course, is card disadvantage technically in the strictest sense. Also, Grave can't cast Izzet Charm, so pretty gross. So we want 2 of these cards, but we can only draw 1 of them, which is really, really annoying. That being the case, we're gonna spin the Unearth, I think. So we're gonna go Supplier into Gaze again. Yeah, we'll bin this. Keep the Watery Grave. Untap or whatever, draw. So we're going to go Supplier. We hit another Unearth, a Conscription, and a Darkslick Shores. Not a great start for us. All right, and we'll say go here. Pretty scared this turn, honestly, because them just casting a Hammer willy-nilly like that's a little weird. Okay. Gaze. I believe it's like boards 4 mana leaks. That resolved really fast though. So okay. I mean, Prismari Command is obviously quite good, as is Bloodstained Mire. Again, we're in this really awkward spot where we just like can't do what we want to do as far as keeping a land and a spell. So Otherworldly Gaze on the play, on the mulligan, not so good. Not so good. We're gonna keep both though. And we're gonna put back Command, put back Mire. We're gonna untap and draw. And I mean, they could have a what's it called? Pure Steel Paladin next turn. Like have like Pure Steel Paladin get second Hammer, go for the kill. If that is the case, Izzet Charm can break that up. But it means we can't really cast Unmarked Grave. We can't really cast the Grave either because we can't remove the Prismari Command on top of our deck. We're just gonna have to say go here. Super awkward hand. They fetch. Super awkward hand. Where's Faith Facility when you need it, you know? So float a mana. I'm gonna assume they have Hammer into Paladin here. Good news for that though is that we can at least block it because they have the equip at sorcery speed. Yes, looks like I was correct. I got a drum, I'm sorry. Sanctifier in back. That's pretty funny actually, because it's a graveyard hate card that doesn't really do much against us. Now we have to hard cast a Storm Herald, but that's like fine, you know? So alright. So we're gonna lose our black cards from our graveyard, which is okay. Could be worse. And if a black or red card would go to the graveyard, just exiled. We just can't put Storm Herald into our graveyard anymore, which is fine. And we're going to do nothing because our top card's Prismari Command. I don't want to draw that. Just gonna untap and drop Prismari Command. And again, I'm not really in a huge rush to do anything, so we'll just say go. Unmarked Grave. I mean, Unmarked Grave can put like a Conscription in the graveyard or something like that, but can't get the Storm Herald. So we'll just sit back on our instance here. Third land, Shock, Pure Steel Paladin. I think we're interested in a Shatter and a Shock here. Shock Paladin, Shatter Hammer. And if they have Mana Leak, whatever, we're just dead. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Alright, so let's get a mountain. Two cards left. Mana Leak is up. Again, assuming they have Mana Leak. The list I saw had bad Mana Leak in it, so. We're going to deal 2 and Shatter. So 2 to Paladin, Shatter Hammer. Yeah, they have Mana Leak. Alright, so yeah, unfortunate. I mean, our hand was pretty bad this game. And unfortunately their hand lined up pretty well against us. Obviously, the game 2 is pretty stupid, obviously, but if we draw exactly Storm Herald is still not enough, so. Alright, what are you gonna do? Hammer Time's really good. It's a really good deck. Yeah, I just don't think we have any outs here. Yeah, one more turn, we will do some stuff. If it wasn't pro black either, we do some stuff too, but that's okay. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, they got us. So yeah, I mean, if it wasn't pro black, we'd probably be okay here. They had, you know, basically the good interactive path, which is fine. So and then we didn't even play game 2, unfortunately. So that's all right. That's all right. 0-1, 0-1. All right, round 2 on the play. Master Sideboard card Mana Leak. The list that won that challenge had 4 Mana Leak in the sideboard of Hammer Time. So not a card you usually see in sideboards, but does seem pretty good, as it was in that game, obviously. Being able to sort of just protect your threats while also defending against like other combos and stuff like that. All right, so on the play, and pretty awkward hand. Gaze could in theory find us our second land, but this hand also needs a third land. And doesn't really have a ton going on. And if we find 2 lands off of it, we'll have to shuffle 1 away by playing Unmarked Grave. I think we're going to mulligan this hand. Just got too little going on. And mulligan to a much more reasonable hand here. We can keep this. We'll ship the Mastery. And we can work with this. Alright, so we're going to play, probably get a Blood Crypt, I guess. Probably. Yeah. Play Scalding Tarn, get Blood Crypts. They also have a Lurrus. Who doesn't have Lurrus these days, you know? Like me, just decided to grace us with their presence. Turn 1, Mountain Ragavan Bauble. Okay. This is a little awkward because like we could just Izzet Charm the Ragavan, obviously. We kind of like need to, sort of. But we'll see what we draw. You can always in Charm and then play Ploy, discard this Conscription, and kind of get to get our ball rolling here. If they decide they want to play Magic with us. Alright, so let's get ourselves a Blood Crypt. No paying life. They're going to bobble us. Look at our top card. Sure. Whatever. Anything cool? They saw our Bloodstained Mire. A lot of info. A lot of info. So we're trying to kill this. Just not going to let that Rag Band get out of hand. Game's going to be a little slower most likely, so. Bobble number 2. Peeking at their own deck. Polluted Delta. I assume this is like the Rakdos Lurrus deck. Nope. Some sort of Grixis deck. Kroxa, Death's Hunger. Sure. I would love to discard my Eldrazi Conscription. Thank you. Appreciate that. So kind of you. So kind. Well, about that. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get a. There's no concede or it's not gonna matter. So get a mountain, I guess. I think it's well worth it to nug them here and kill both their lands. Thanks to their Kroxa for making this play possible. All right, so Grixis something. Again, I want these borrowers, Prismari commands. Some number of pushes I'm gonna draw for Ragavan is like probably necessary. I think Battle Master is unnecessary because they're gonna shock a lot. I don't need the extra damage. Again, I want to shave down on some stuff here. Shave the Ploy, which is not very good. We are on the draw, so perhaps we are interested in some fatal pushes here. Possibly a shadow deck also, so I'm gonna shave a Gaze. I felt like drawing 2 Gaze that game hurt really bad, because we're not really racing. I mean, mulligan, we're just like down on cards, and like it just card selection. It's not even like it's a 0-for-1 realistically, so it's not very good at like in more fair games. I'm just gonna get rid of 2 of them. If they Thoughtseize us and mulligan and we cast the Gaze, like we're never gonna win. So let's cut some of the kind of the crappier, more combo-y cards and bring in some of our more fair cards and see how this plays. The consideration to go even a little deeper with Sedgemoor Witch, if they bring in a lot of hate against us for game 3. They are a shadow deck then, which should line up pretty well. Okay. Hand is... It's fine. It's a little lacking, but it's 7 cards, some interaction. Put a mulligan to 6. This is fine. If they Thoughtseize this once here, it's fine. They have Throne Ragavan. I mean, we can't kill it till turn 2, I guess, but I mean, that's just modern player draw, I guess. Ragavan, just a really, really obnoxious play draw card. It's a Nile Spellbomb. Sure. So we can shadow that with a Prismari Command. We're in no rush to do anything here, so. Another Unearth. Alright, let's play with Thoughtseize. Shock in the Steam Vents and say go. So probably a shadow deck. We draw Storm Herald. That's fine. I'm probably going to cycle this Unearth end step, honestly. Try and draw line number 3 here. Discard spell. Sure. It's going to hit our Prismari Command most likely, but them's the breaks. It's important also that Storm Herald can just like be in play. So I can attack a Storm Herald. They can spellbomb my graveyard and I can just like loot away some more cards. This doesn't need to be a one-shot deal. It is just a 3/2 ace for 3. So they take Izzet Charm, not anything else. We could have countered the Inquisition there. That seems really bad. Take Izzet Charm and say go. We're going to cycle this Unearth and draw a Growth. And draw a Darkslick Shores. So play Shores and say go. The intent to destroy a Spellbomb. If they kill... Shock. Cast Iteration. I kind of like killing the spell bomb now, because right now they don't know if they're going to hit up Iteration as far as having mana. They can use the spell bomb and draw a card and like still get value off of it, but it's funny. We also just choose to draw and discard, and those cards would be in the graveyard regardless. Yeah, I'm going to Shatter and draw discard here, I think. So I draw 2 turns, destroy target artifacts. Put some stack and see what they do. They also can't counter it. So no stubborn denials or whatever, counter spell, draw on the lock, etc. Pay black, sack it. So they're gonna go for the value here. Exile my graveyard. I draw 2, discard 2. I'm gonna discard a growth. And want to keep Herald in my hand in case they have another graveyard hate card. I think it's Unmarked Grave. This is 10, and they're at 12 essentially in theory. And I get Supplier pre-Herald also. I'll do that. Discarding a growth and a grave. And now if they hit a Thoughtseize, they can't get Herald and Unearth, which is pretty good too. So their outs here are a removal spell for Herald, which could be, if they play a fetch land, they can do that for sure. Or a graveyard hate piece. A discard spell won't do it. They reveal Lightning Bolt. They play Bobble, and they're dead. Cool. So we drop Prismari Command. We're going to Supplier first and see if we can hit another enchantment. We do, and that should be the game. Cool. That was fun. Good game there. Good, much better than our first match, and we're 1-1. Beating a heavily interactive deck too. These Grixis Shadow decks are like the bane of combo decks usually. Just all interaction, cheap threats. So super sweet, super sweet. All right, round 3. Gaze for days. On the play, triple gaze. Again, these multiple gaze hands feel kind of bad to me. We do have Supplier and Unearth, so we're actually a lot of the way there. So gaze can find us a land. The next turn we can Supplier and gaze. This is possibly a turn 2 kill. Obviously, this is our in Magical Christmas land. So I guess we're gonna keep this. A lot of card disadvantage here, though. A lot of card disadvantage. Unearth and Supplier are the real selling point here, I think. All right, so Watery Grave. Actually, I'm sorry, we're not gonna cast it yet. We're gonna get a Watery Grave end step, cast gaze. Let's see what they do also. So Bloodstained Mire. They were also a Lurrus deck, in case you were wondering. I got the one Lurrus deck, or one non-Lurrus deck was a deck that's usually a Lurrus deck. Alright, so we're going to get a Watery Grave and shock it and gaze it. Top cards are Herald, good one. Swamp Mire. That's kind of great actually. So we're gonna bin the Herald. Let me bin the Swamp too. I want red mana also. Bin Herald, bin Swamp. Draw Mire. Alright, I mean, we could hit here and just have the game right now, basically. So, in theory, I guess we'll fetch first. Like fetch Supplier. If we miss, we can gaze. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Blood Crypt just to open our draws up a bit. It's just 2 damage. All right, here's Supplier. This is a big one. Battle Mastery and another Herald. So at the moment, only double strike for our Storm Herald. So unfortunately, we're going to pass the turn here. Yeah, not good enough. Not good enough. Couldn't roll the nuts. Couldn't roll the nuts. Things get a little harder now as now they untap, of course. And they're probably like also a shadow deck or like some sort of super interactive deck. It's mostly what Modern is these days, just an interactive Lurrus decks of 10,000 shades. No pot goes to waste. Close. Close. So do one of our big boom booms. Opponent's trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. It should be fairly clear what we're trying to do, obviously, but we get to gaze and gaze again. We get to look like many, many cards deep here for a conscription. Even a growth is good here. Double striking growth is 20 damage, so Blood Crypt. Worst case scenario here is they cast a discard spell, but they're not going to because they obviously put a channeler off their black. I'm just gonna say go. I mean, could have some sort of interaction here, but I suppose like a lightning bolt would do it, right? Because they could just kill us before it does anything. That's fair. So we'll cast Gaze and see what's up. We find Supplier, Prismari Command, Scalding Tarn. Once again, in a spot we want to hit the draw a land and the Prismari Command, but so of course feels like a bolt or an unholy heat, which would break up our combo and wouldn't feel too good for us. Yeah, these multiple gaze hands are really, really awful. Like, we're just down so many cards. I'm gonna bin Supplier. Let me just have this really awkward, like, Scalding Tarn Prismari Command pile where, like, do we even want these cards? Prismari Command might not kill anything anyway. I'm just gonna ship them all. Honestly, I'm just gonna untap and draw another Unearth. That's like not bad. So now we can kind of just go for it. And if they have the, I'm sorry, we don't even have a freaking other enchantment yet. But if we gaze here, find it, Unearth, they kill a creature in response. Then we Unearth it again next turn. Storm Herald says, any number, so we can choose to not bring him back. All right, sure. We'll just gaze here. We'll gaze, looking for a Eldrazi Conscription or Prodigious Growth. Prodigious, whatever. Gaze. I want to remind y'all, as a companion article to this video, as always, on CoolStuffInc.com. I do a video article every Monday, as well as a written article every Friday. Last Friday's article is about a sad happenstance in the world of competitive Magic and Magic coverage. Cedric and Patrick leaving Star City Games, leaving the SG Tour, and the SG Tour not looking like it's going to exist anymore, which is very, very sad. So that's my article from Friday. Talk about that. And the effect the SG Tour had on me. I wouldn't be doing this right now. It wasn't the SG Tour. So a little bit of a somber note last Friday, but free content every weekday, no paywall ever, CoolStuffInc.com. Also use promo code Jim5 to get 5% off your order on CoolStuffInc.com. On you got Magic singles, Magic product, other card games, board games, miniatures, you name it, they got it. CoolStuffInc.com. All right, so we found the enchantment. I mean, and then honestly, we also just have a natural Herald here too. We're just gonna bin the Herald, keep the land. Sorry, bin the Conscription, keep the Herald and the land. So now we have Unearth this turn, Unearth next turn, Storm Herald next turn. That's fine. So let's go here and here. We'll tuck the Herald also to play around Thoughtseize and Send Friends. So we'll cast Unearth. I mean, I'm sure they have a Bolt or Unholy Heat here, but we have the next few turns set up. So ability on a stack. Yep. So it's dead. They get to Surveil twice. And of course, we'll bring nothing back and just say go. They've been 2 lands. Sorry, they've been a land and a Dragon Rage Channeler. Now they're one away from Delirium, which obviously increases their clock by a significant margin. So we're just gonna ask the same question 3 turns in a row. If they can answer it all 3 times, you lose. I mean, Not much more a combo that I can ask for, honestly, than to present lethal 3 turns in a row, starting on turn 3, you know? There's a fetch, there's a Watery Grave. See a 1/1 Death Shadow, and no attack. So for sure have interaction again, but whatever, it's fine. Here's land. Here's an Unearth. Targeting Storm Herald. Take 2. As I said the last match, these decks do have a lot of interaction. So, you know, usually these Death Shadow decks are the absolute death for combo decks. Their deck is nothing but 1 mana threats and 1 mana interaction. Discard, counter spells. Dress down. Dress down indeed. That's really annoying. So, kind of interesting though. So all creatures lose all abilities, right? And they draw a card. It's going to come back. It's not like it's going anywhere. It's still in play for next turn. So we can just chill and say go and play next turn, I guess. Dress down goes away. Does give them Delirium, unfortunately. But now we have this Herald and the Herald on top of our deck. Attempting to, well, I guess I'm sorry. It is on ETB, not attack. So it doesn't actually do anything. It feels like it should be an attack trigger, but it's not. So, all right, they shock, they attack. I might actually just block this shadow. Because this isn't actually doing the right. So we don't have a battlefield. Yeah, it's not. It feels like it should be an attack trigger, but it's not. So we'll just block. And then we cast the Herald next turn. Hope it's good enough. Again, I mean, if they have more interaction, they have more. Oh shit! I'm so stupid. I screwed up. Obviously, the Herald's on top of my deck, and I wanted to draw that one. I'm sure they have interaction anyway, honestly. But yeah, they didn't put Lurrus in their hand. They obviously have like Drama Lock or whatever. So we're just dead. Yeah, that's fine. And Drama Lock, Unholy Heat, removal spell, counter spell, dress down. Basically anything will kill us here, so will stop us from doing our thing. So yeah, that's Shadow for you. I mean, we had it. We had lethal to gain turn 3, 4, and 5, and they had it every time. So Thoughtseize, sure. Put one of those in the bin for me. Thank you. Oh, I was supposed to end step cast Otherworldly Journey. Oops. Whatever. I'm just they just 110% have a Drown Lock in their hand. It just doesn't even matter. But all right, we draw the case Unearth and have them not have a Drama Lock. Let's do it, but not good enough. All right, so that's fine. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, Death Shadow is typically really, really good against combo decks. Gonna shave some gazes again, because gaze is really kind of annoying me. Taking a Battle Mastery, the Ploy. Same sideboarding, bringing the pushes, the Prismari Command, and the Borrowers. Like somewhat intrigued with Sedgemoor Witch. Not sure if I'm willing to go all the way onto it. I need to get the other Mastery too. Imagine that a growth on a Herald for 10 should usually be enough against the Shadow deck. And Mastery is kind of thin otherwise. Let me shave an Unmarked Grave. I'm pretty cool with this. Again, maybe on the draw for game 3 I'll bring the Witch, but yeah, between Prismari Command and Borrower, we can deal with a now Spell Bomb kind of at our leisure. At least that's the plan. Again, really can't ask for more than last game. Just to, like, present lethal combo on 3, 4, and 5. And they just had it on all streets. Suppose there's a chance they didn't have it on that last turn, and I screwed up and milled the card. But I mean, they didn't put Lurrus in their hand. They looked at their holding up interaction. They probably had it. We can keep this. It's not great, but it's fine. Let's keep this. Gonna get a Watery Grave. Actually, no, a Blood Crypt. It's awkward. We want double blue for this. No, only swamp for this. Want to cast this. And red also. guess Blood Crypt is where it's at. But Supplier. Mill over. Unmarked Grave and a Growth. So a little bit of the way there. They have a Spell Bomb here. A Thoughtseize. Sure. Hand's not particularly great anyway. Honestly, his borrowers aren't bad. They do so much damage to themselves that like they might just get it and like kill them. It's a threat for sure. Darkslick Shores. Okay. Kind of a weird spot because you don't typically want to attack a shadow player when they're at like 16 life. Because it kind of helps them along and speeds their clock up. With the borrowers, though, I think we do. I'm going to attack. So we can bounce multiple shadows and then, of course, just attack them. They play a mountain and they dash a Ragavan. I think we're down to bounce this because we kind of want to just get Borrower going anyway. Really awkward mana here. Perhaps I should have... I didn't think we were going to have to Borrower this turn. This is kind of a surprising play to me, so I didn't think we were going to need to fetch and cast a spell here. A little awkward just to take 2 for no... kind of not really no reason, but... Alright, we'll take the... Steam Vents. Shock. I could have played the island, but I thought we'd be end step fetching probably and not casting or not petty thefting, but sure. Petty theft. Now Borrower's available. I mean, now they have Ragavan. We're probably not going to attack. We draw a Fatal Push. Yeah, we'll just say go here. No attacks. Supplier to defending against Ragavan, and then Borrower to come down and attack them. 2 basics. Huh. Alright. Really the best hand of all time, but sure. Gonna bolt the Borrower. It's fine. Play Island, say go. They're at 14. Going to attempt to dash Ragavan. I believe we're going to Fatal Push here. If I cast Borrower and they like... Can't cast the Borrower anyway. I might just cast Borrower regardless, so... Push this. Yeah, like... The thing is, like, this is at least applying pressure. So when we actually draw Storm Herald, it might actually live, whereas if they actually kill this, so... Unearth. It's kind of funny. Sure. Attack. So, Blood Crypt. Heat the Borrower. And now we have an interesting choice here. Do we unearth the Borrower and just keep the pressure going? I kind of think we do, honestly. Probably not cycling it. There's no Storm Heralds in sight, so sure. I can see how Witch feels pretty good in this deck. 1 black, 3/3 Death Shadow, and a Ragavan. No dash. You draw Prismari Command. Which looks like Dress Down or Drown the Lock. Doesn't feel great. Also, attacking them now is super sus. It's 4 attacks to kill them. Two cards in hand. Let's just say go. End step, Drown the Lock, the Supplier. Wow. That is aggressive. That's going to resolve. Let's see what it hits. Mills over a Growth, a Mire, and a Supplier. I think we're going to Prismari Command and kill the Ragavan now and fire up a Lutsky. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Alright. Well, that's pretty crappy. 20 lands in our deck. Gotta find some spells to win this game. So no Luris, leaving up interaction again. Oh man. And this shadow opponent has been much more troublesome than our last one. I mean, draw 2, discard 2 is just so bad. But Izzet Charm's not. I guess Izzet Charm could, like, play the Spell Pierce role, but all their cards cost 1 and 2, so that's never going to counter anything. Alright. Sure. Don't feel good. Don't feel good. Unearth and Persist. Damn it, we want both those cards. Or do we? Well, I guess we don't even. We have Borrower in the bin. I haven't even found a freaking Storm Herald yet. Alright, let's get rid of these. I guess we're still on this Unearth Borrower plan. Let's attack and see what they do. Doesn't even work though, because like they'll kill us before we kill them regardless. So do I just hold this? I think I do. If I draw a Storm Herald, I can just play Herald, they kill it response, the trigger, and I just unearth it. I bet our best path to victory. I guess if I have a dress down, that sucks. We're to dive in anyway, though, so. If they can dress down, make the thing a 13-13. Nothing. Not a thing. Poor Borrower playing neither offense nor defense, just a spectator in this game. Okay. I guess you win. So they had this anyway, so we couldn't get through. Yeah, I mean, like, again, I'm a little surprised to beat the last Shadow deck. Like, Shadow has just, like, been the anti-combo deck in Modern now for the last, decade, practically. So, all right, we're dead. Dress down makes a 13-13. And we don't have any interaction anyway. So, tough game, tough matchup. I'm going to draw for match number 4 here, and our hand is pretty bad. Don't necessarily want to draw these. No way to discard them. Opponent mulligans to 6. No companion. I think... yeah, we're going to mulligan this. Mulligan to a Herald, Unearth, Persist, 3-land hand. This is certainly keepable. I think we're going to shit the Persist here. So, no amazing ways to find enchantments yet, but we have Citrus Supplier and Haze and all sorts of stuff. Basic Forest, a Boreal Grazer. Ooh, okay. I see how it's going to be. Should be okay for us to pure erase Amulet versus our Storm Herald. That is not a 1-drop. That is not a 1-drop. Play Delta and say go. Prismari Command can also destroy an Amulet, but of course we are a bit behind the 8 ball here with a hand that is not very good. Lacking in velocity. Play Breeding Pool. Play Dryad. Okay. And no, like, 4th land, I guess, not 3rd land. That's pretty awesome. No bounce lands either, which is the really important part. That's a growth. Pretty cool play. We can Prismari Command on 3, draw 2, discard 2, make a treasure, and cast Unearth. That's pretty fun. Just gonna play Mire and leave the illusion of the Weave interaction. Obviously, Growth and Herald by itself is not enough if you draw a Conscription or a double strike thing. If they don't draw land, they're not doing anything for a long time. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a land here and see what we draw. Well, better luck even good, I guess. All right, well, we're gonna make the play we said we were gonna make. Annihilator 2 and 20 damage. They can block with the Grazer, but they sack 2 permanents also, and that probably means they can't win the game. So, yes, I'd like to pay 2 life. My Kingdom for an auto tapper. So we're going to draw 2, discard 2, make a treasure. I'm so stupid. It's not in the graveyard too. What am I thinking here? What am I thinking? All right, sure. I don't know. And for some reason, this was also in the graveyard in my mind. That was obviously totally incorrect. But oopsie. Yeah, I don't. I just brain farted. Just skipped a step. They never draw off the 4th land. That's not gonna matter. So. Yeah, I mean, sure. We can gaze here first. Need mana for everything else too, so play gaze, try and bid another enchantment, and guarantee victory here. Unmarked Grave, Otherworldly Gaze, Mire. I don't actually want any of these cards. Just play Herald. Do the thing. Do what I came here to do. These Amulet Titan decks, not super well known for their interaction. So you need to sack 2 non-Grazer permanents, then block with the Grazer. Probably sack the Dryad and the land, I guess. I don't even know. And they go to 1. And the next Storm Herald will kill them. Just the old-fashioned way. Just attacking for 3. All right. 12-1. Enchantments go away. What? It's like a visual glitch, I guess. It's weird. Sure. All right. So Amulet Titan. We're gonna want some Thoughtseizes. And we're gonna need to kill them. There's no messing around here. And they have Ursa Saga for graveyard hate, potentially other graveyard hate as well. So very, very different matchup than our last matchups where they were fair decks. We had to play around all their good removal and stuff like that. Here we need to just kill them. Prismari Command can mop up the artifact graveyard stuff. Still want to shave like a grave. I mean, Izzet Charm. I think you want all the gazes. You know, I don't like them that much. Persist, fine. Conscription, extremely important because the Annihilator is so good also. Let's take a look at another Izzet Charm. I'll shave a Gaze. Not super impressed with Gaze. Maybe we should shave a Battle Master instead. Like by itself does actual nothing. So just have four Thoughtseizes and go from there. So a little thinner on our main plan, but obviously have a little bit more. I actually have interaction for them too. So Thoughtseize should play pretty well. And pretty good hand. Keep this. Forest. Amulet. All right, so a better hand for them. We get insanely lucky here. We can turn to them. You draw Storm Herald. Okay. Important to note also that, like, when they go off with Titan, they usually don't kill you. Well, they say they have a Druid Bog on their deck, though, so that kind of kills us, but... all right. Good fetch for a tiny element of thinning, so we're obviously going to see a lot of cards from the deck. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's super thin value, but we're going to have draw steps, multiple mills. Gonna have the fetch shock anyway, probably, so. Play Supplier. Push some cards to the bin, get super lucky. Nope. Land, Unearth. Terrible mill. Terrible mill. Second amulet. Second amulet gets usually pretty dirty. No. Just a grazer. There's Sanctuary. Untap. Oh, they actually stacked it, so they're going to bounce first. Sure, so bounce the Forest. Untap Sanctuary. They have not played a land yet. Play Forest for land for turn. Play Grazer. Play Vesuva. Copy Sanctuary. Bounce Forest again. Untap Sanctuary. 4 mana available now. They have played their land for turn. Tormod Script. That's not good. Alright, so pretty good hand. Supplier. So like we can obviously a Prismari Command to kill this Crypt. It's kind of awkward though, because like they have Amulet too. They have Forest and they have 1 card now that we don't know about. So not necessarily there yet per se. We have Izzet Charm to either potentially counter like a Summoner's Pact or just end step draw 2, discard 2. Playing Supplier here. We could play Supplier and just cast Unearth to pop the Crypt. If we hit something, we have to actually hit something though. That's threatening at the pop. We're just gonna say go with Izzet Charm up. Draw 2, discard 2, find our 3rd land. Unmarked Grave, Unearth, pretty nice little combo. Yeah, looks like they're just out of stuff to do. They have a Forest in their hand we know about. Seems weird they wouldn't play that. It's strange. I don't know why they wouldn't play that Forest, honestly. Alright, draw 2, discard 2. Unmarked Grave and Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is fine. I think second Unmarked Grave. I mean, Unmarked Grave for Conscription is also pretty good. We can just get it and then cast Storm Herald the next turn. Interesting. Interesting. We could discard Herald here and just use the Unearth to force the Chris. We don't have a fat card in the graveyard too though. What's our next turn gonna be? Oh, we just Thoughtseize them. Is Supplier necessary? Doesn't hurt. It's funny if you can like shock our own Supplier too, just like to mill more cards. All right, I'm gonna discard the Supplier, I think. Untap. Persist. There's a lot of graveyardy stuff. No land for us. Thoughtseize them. Alright, does the Forest they didn't play and 2 mystery cards, which we're about to find out. I think a Titan is reasonable. It's a Force of Vigor, a Forest, and a Slayer Stronghold. Again, not sure why they didn't play that Forest. It doesn't really make sense to me. But okay, well they don't got much. There's always that going on for us, I suppose. Do we need to draw land? I think ideal turn for us is just like draw land, say go, Prismari Command, Shatter Tormod's Crypt, and then shock my Supplier. I mean, they draw Bajuka Bog, which doesn't really affect our graveyard because our graveyard's empty. But the bad news is now every bounce land is also Bajuka Bog, so that's not ideal. Haters. They see me rolling. They hating. We draw an Eldrazi Conscription and still no land. Okay. We could unmark for a Conscription, and if we draw a land, we just play Herald, and then they just tripped it. But then we're stuck with this Herald. Doesn't do anything. So yeah, we'll just say go. I guess this kind of stinks. Just stuck here. We could cycle Unearth, I guess. Yeah, maybe we'll just cycle down. We define this land, so we'll just cycle this now. Alright, cool. Both decks not operating at peak efficiency. I still don't understand why they're holding the Forest and the Stronghold. This makes sense to me. All their hand is Forest, Stronghold, and a mystery card once again. It can't be a Titan because I've played it. It's hard to imagine a card that isn't a land, but if it was a land, why wouldn't they play a land? I just don't get why they're not playing lands here. Thoughtseizing ourself is not really an option. Yeah, I'm just gonna cast it. Is that Force of Vigor, maybe? Force of Vigor is pretty annoying. It's us to explore. They're just like committed to not doing anything. It's kind of weird. I said in chat, what is wrong with the client? Why am I skipping my turns? I don't know what they're talking about. They may have like turned their stops off on their main phases by accident. Let's see if they stop on their main phase or not. Yeah, there it is. All right, so I guess they just were screwing up. I don't know. Update your Titan. All right, cool. Whatever. Sure, fine. Pretty good draw. The Stronghold's in their hands. They can't attack with it. Yeah, we can't win anymore. And now they have infinite bog action. I guess we could still, in theory, like, this can't attack this turn. We can just draw land, Prismari Command, untap, and just, like, spike, I guess. They've already used their Vesuva. The Stronghold's stuck in their hand. They get 2 Valakuts. Okay, but they have no friend. All right. Could have been a much scarier turn. If this is in play from previous turns, they could have just like killed us. Not killed us, but done a lot. Land? Maybe? No? Not really? Fine. I guess. I'll tell you. I mean, sure. Growth Journey Thoughtseize. Okay. Or spade this when you need it, you know? There's your Slayer's Stronghold. They draw another Titan. All right, that's haste on that one. Now we're dead. All right, it's a pretty boring game. We never draw a third land. They have Crypt, and they draw Titans before we draw lands. That's fine. Happens. Now on the play for game 3, still have 4 Thoughtseizes. I think that 4 commands, like, you can also just play into Crypt to make them crack it. It's not like you need to destroy it. You can just, put enough pressure on to make them use it. So, all right, so on the play, our hand is pretty good. We can keep this. It's not great, but Prismari Command in the play is pretty good. Supplier, Unmarked Grave. Don't know how many crypts they have. Might have like 1 crypt, 1 like relic S card for Urza Saga. Put them all against 6. All right. All right. Shocking. Supplying. They're on 6 cards. We're going to hit some whammies. A growth, a land, a command. Not bad. Not bad. A little Ant-Man action. Forest. All right. Annoying, to say the least. Grazer. Don't put anything in. Is this just like a Tormod's Crypt or bust kind of hand? I mean, sure. Just like no lands Tormod's Crypt. I mean, they didn't put a land in, so. Amulet of Vigor. Okay. I guess that would make sense if their only land was a bounce land. No, it looks like they actually have nothing. Okay. So we shatter Tormod's Crypt and shock our Supplier and go from there. We have Unmarked Grave on Earth too, so all right, say go. Weird games. Weird games. Amulet number 2. Okay. All right, so end of turn. We are going to shock our Supplier and destroy the Crypt. They F6'd, so sure. Conscription Herald. Okay, they're dead. They could have a Force of Vigor, I guess, but. So we're going to Unmarked Grave another Conscription. Draw another Conscription. Okay. If they have Force, they can exile both Conscriptions. We only get in for 10 on Herald. Like, what else could they have, in their hand? It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. If they do Force, then they have 2 cards left, and they kind of need like land and spells. It's pretty tough. I'm pretty sure they have Force of Vigor here. Question is like, how can we play around it effectively? I'll just cast Unmarked Grave. We boarded out our card that can jumpstart discards to the graveyard. Obviously a little weird, obviously, that they F6 their turn with a crypt in play and let us destroy it, but now they're not F6ing, which is a little weird, but already have Herald in the bin. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have the Herald in play too. Just attack. It's a three power creature, but attacks them. All right, sure, we'll just go for it. I think they have Force of Vigor, but I think this is also just like not the end of the world if they do. So do the thing. We're drawing to our many looting effects. I mean, beginning combat, cast Force of Vigor. We attack for 10. They go to 10. All right, so there's your Exotic Razor. All right, so attack for 10. Storm Herald's still in play, obviously. They exile the Razor, so they have 2 cards in their hand. As far as like producing a Titan, obviously they have like a bounce land. It's not enough for a Titan, you know? So they need to produce enough mana for a Titan, as well as enough lands for a Titan. I don't know why this is like here. Just like weird graphical glitch, but sure. Castle Garenbrig. Another Grazer. Garenbrig would allow a bounce land to cast a Titan, which is kind of scary. It's a way of drawing like 2 lands in one, basically. Unmarked Grave. Doesn't really do anything for us. Go get him, buddy. Attack for 3. Kind of sad I boarded out this card. Obviously, like, it's not particularly exciting and did not plan on playing a long game here. But the way this game has kind of panned out, just Tormod's Crypt, Force of Vigor, slowed the game down a ton. I would obviously happily search for this card, given the option. And for only 2 more mana, you get +3/+3 and Annihilator 2. All right, so they chump block, stay at 13. We're going to cast Unmarked Grave, I guess, for Gaze. Like, we're just looking for an Izzet Charm or a Prismari Command just to discard these cards from our hand and try and find another Storm Herald effect. Could shatter one of these amulets too, in theory. Okay. End of combat step. Nothing to do there. Play on Unmarked Grave. I'm pretty sure it's just Gaze. Doesn't really feel exciting, but it's better than nothing, I guess. So we'll say go. We do have a clock in play. Nothing. Okay. End step. Gaze. Top cards are Supplier, Gaze, Delta. We're going to bin all of these. I think I just want to draw Izzet Charm or Prismari Command. That's it. So, bidding Gaze, of course, gives us more access to more Gazes. We're going to upkeep Gaze, too. There's your Izzet Charm. All right, so bin land. Keep Izzet Charm. Say go. No reason to cast this now because we can't draw things that actually matter this turn. So we'll just hold it on the off chance that the Spell Pierce matters. Also, I want them like drawing Bog or something too. So once we charm, we discard both of these, draw 2 fresh ones and a draw step. We can draw Herald. Other points of interaction. If they've drawn a bounce land and a Titan in sequence, we're in a bit of trouble. But Castle Garenberg for the turn, sure. Cast Summoner's Pact. Okay. What the hell are they doing? What does Summoner's Pact even do here? Because they need to pay for it too. They've already played a land. Sure, that resolves. They have 1 card in their hand. I mean, like, I don't know what their plan is here. Get a Dryad. Sure. Play Dryad. Sure. Their last card in hand is also a land. It's a Thelaria West. All right, so they're just saying, I want to play Dryad to not die. They have to tap out next turn also. So it's draw 2, discard 2. They have no choices left, so they untap this thing twice. That's it. All right, that's a Herald. They're dead. Works for me. Works for me. About to have a buddy. Definitely not the best hand on their part, but we've had bad hands too. You know, we've had bad hands too. All right, so 2-2 going into our final match, the swing match. All right, on the play here for match number 5, opponent reveals Lurrus, as is the standard. We have a Supplier, Unearth, Grave. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Imagine how much this deck would love to play the Faithless Looting. I miss Faithless Looting in Modern. Wrote an article in Cool Stuff for a while ago talking about why it was a mistake to ban it. Still stand firmly in that regard, especially with all the this is pre-Modern Horizons 2. With all the Modern Horizons 2 cards 10 times over. Watery Grave, sure. Put them all against 6. Kind of nice to have a Supplier to block a Ragavan too. We hit Unmarked Grave, Persist land. So a brick. A brick. Conceal Courtyard. Might have a Hammer Time deck here. Ooh, stop. It's Hammer Time. Thopter. Good draw. Good draw. Good draw. Let's see. One of the ideal openings for Hammer Time. Played the deck a good amount myself. Izzet Charm. All right. I'll just say go. Don't want to get them cards off Sentinel. Probably get a cycle on Earth, I think. Jeez. All right. A little stuck on land here, unfortunately, and that's kind of hurting us. The Sentinel's obviously making it much worse, but interested to see what they take here. Prismari Command's the best card against them, but we can't cast it yet. All right, take the command. So play Courtyard. 2 cards left. And another Sentinel. Jeez. It's so annoying. They don't have any cards left. I don't want to give them any cards. I think we're going to Charm here and just draw 2. I think Mountain's fine. So we'll give them 1 card. Without lands, playing against 2 Esper Sentinels, we're going to have to give them some cards eventually. So we'll draw 2. Discard Conscription and Mastery. We draw a land now, we just get them, so... It has to be a black land. I mean, there are almost no non-black lands in the deck. Maybe I should have fetched a duel there. I was trying to be a little conservative. We're drawing Steam Vents 100%. 110%. Or Storm Herald. I mean, that's also good. Just casting Storm Herald is great right now. I guess we're going to cycle Unearth. Yeah, let's look for a land. Now we're just casting Storm Herald, so... Alright, cycle Unearth. That's not a land. So go. Three cards in hand for them. Heath. Drum. Mismatched drums. Come on. Have some respect for the game. Blur Sand. Sure. So their hand's bad. They had nothing else going on. All right. Please draw a land. Please. Thank you. Land. Swamp. Herald. Conscription and Battle Mastery. Sack 2 things, 10 or 13 double striker. There are a deck that knows a little bit about giving +10/+10 to things, right? Well, it's time you taste a little bit of your own medicine, my friend. Could have put them on the supplier. Doesn't make sense. So. Attack. They do have 2 permanents to sacrifice safely, but not enough life to survive. All right, it's cool. So not a great draw from our Hammer Time player. Allows us to go pretty easily. They're also black and not blue, so Thoughtseize is kind of annoying, but they're not going to have counter spells like the last one did. So on the draw, bringing the pushes. Prismari Command. Borrower is a possibility. We're going to cut Shave of Mastery again. Take out the Ploy. I think it's still correct. You know, it kind of screwed us that one game. I really don't like these gazes. They have Thoughtseizes that they're going to be playing a somewhat interactive game. And it does put us down a card. We're on the draw, which helps a bit. I think I want the Borrowers too. I guess they have I could have like Rest in Peace in theory. Take out like 2 gazes. I'm going to shave an Unmarked Grave and maybe Persist. This is just like Unearth 4, 5, and 6 anyway, so now we just have 5 Unearths. So obviously a little less consistent, but bringing in some interaction. Game's going to slow down because both players have more interaction, so we have more time to put our stuff together, so I think I like this. All right. Our hand is not great. It is a 1-lander, of course, and no way to find another land. Opponent keeps 7. We're going to mulligan. Down to 6. It's better. Again, I really hate these double gaze hands. I'm not going to lie. We're going to keep... I think we're going to keep both gazes. Like, you know, realistically, I think that's fine. I'm going to ship the Swamp so I can still cast this. Borrower. Not a great hand. Not a great hand to say the least. Oh, God, it got so much worse. All right, sure. So annoying. All right. Oh. Problem is that we just need our spells to fix our hands. Our hand's so bad. It just makes this so annoying. We'll play Delta and say go. With the intent to get a Steam Vents, most likely. I think we're not going to play into the Sentinel. Saga. Sounds really good. So if we're Saga, it's just like the best card in their deck, one of the best cards in the format, and it also just gets a hate card too. So being a, the premier card in their deck that also is a hate card for us is pretty annoying. Drum. Stoneforge Mystic. Let's see what they get. Probably a hammer. A cranial plating. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Now it comes down to, do I just need to cast this gaze here and try and make things happen? I think that might be the case. So we'll get Steam Vents, shock it in, and unfortunately you go down a card to give them a card, which feels pretty bad. Herald Unearth Growth. That's not a bad start. Again, the problem is that they just have Visaga in play. We're just going to get a graveyard hate card in 2 turns. I guess I could just get lucky next turn and just like hit my gaze, hit another thing, and just kill them. I just bin. Let's get lucky. They can get lucky. Why can't I get lucky, right? Famous last words. Untap. Draw. Yeah, I mean, sure. Whatever. We'll just do it. We hit here, we win. Ho, 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 ho. Ha, 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 ha. Yes. Yes. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Turn 2. This is for the turn 2 beating that our other Hammer Time opponents gave us. Unfortunately, this opponent has no idea that that happened, but I'm sure they've done it to people before as well, so. All right, there you go. Taste it, nerd. Annihilator 2, 20 damage coming. Sack 2 things and block with Stoneforge and go to 2. I guess they're not technically dead yet, but we have Brazen Borrower to hopefully do the last point or two. Our top card is an Unearth to get back the other Storm Herald just for a little little 3-ball action. Courtyard. Memnite. So our turn is going to be draw Unearth, play land, Unearth, Herald, attack. They make a token, we bounce it, they chump block twice, and hopefully the Heralds can finish the game. Should be able to, I would think. Casts a guard as aid. That's a little on the terrifying side, but sure. Untap, Unearth, play land. Unearth, Storm Herald. I guess we could have like journeyed first in theory to like try and get lucky again, but we're gonna have Petty Theft up for their token. Otherwise, they make a token and then they just give it a Shadow Spear. So attack with my 2 3/2s. And they're dead. Or not. Or yes. Yes. Make a token. Theft ya. All right. So Hammer Time twice, Grixis Shadow twice, and I forgot what the other deck was. Was it Shadow 3 times, was it? I don't remember. was a long time ago. But went 3-2, right? Yeah, 3-2. We'll take that. And one of our losses was to being turn 2'd by Hammer Time. And then we lost to, of course, the Shadow deck that had some pretty good hands. And again, it seems like a pretty bad matchup for us. But all in all, pretty fun deck. Obviously, the explosive potential is a much heralded thing in Modern. The ability to just have that turn 2 nut draw. Part of what makes Hammer Time so good. It's so hated right now. Like there's so many decks like gunning for it, but sometimes they just kill you on turn 2. And they can play this really long game too. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, Prismari Command's also awesome in the deck, able to kill things like Tormod's Crypt or whatever. Gazes are fine. Love them. It's like, obviously, if this deck had 4 lootings over 4 gazes, we'd be like really, really talking. But super fun deck, super cool deck. Give us a Zach Allen Storm Herald deck. Zach's worked on this deck a lot, and I just stole it and played it for the first time. So all credit goes to Zach for the deck list. Check out Zach's content. Zach's great. And yeah, pretty fun deck, pretty awesome. Eldrazi Conscription, questioning or making people ask the question, why was this card printed? It's only for cheating in. And we saw it with Sovereign's Lost of Alara. Now we see it here with Storm Herald. Pretty fun deck. So I'm Davis or CoolStuffInc.com. You can, of course, check out the CoolStuffInc.com proper for all your content needs, your card needs. Promo code Jim5, 5% off your order. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel itself. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a companion article to this video on CoolStuffInc.com. Check that out too, right? I'm Davis. See you next time. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate it.